Star, Bristol.
Okay, so first of all, just tell us what the tour is you're doing and why you're doing it.
Well, the tour is called Get Your Life Back, and it's because that's the story of what I've just been through. But there's a few things I want to pass on. I'm all about empowering people with a bit of knowledge, a bit of information, and I think they need to know about weight loss surgery, about the good it can do, but also about the tremendous pitfalls that can be there if you fall for the wrong sort of advert. And unfortunately, it is a bit like that. It's a commodity that a lot of people think they can buy. I did, and I went the wrong way, really, and I had to be rescued. And I just feel like passing that information on to others if they're going through the same sort of journey, so that they can be better off than me.
So just remind us what your story, the experience that you went through.
Well, basically, I've had a weight problem for probably the last 10 years or so, and I've done everything that you do to try and combat it. I have been on every diet known to man. I've cabbage souped it, and I've Brussels sprouted it, and I've been on the F plan, the G plan, the cabbage, the hip and thigh, the everything. And the great thing about diets is that they often do work, particularly if you've got terrific willpower. They often do work. They get the weight off you, but inevitably you have to go back to normal life at some point, and that's when I put the weight back on and more. I became a classic yo-yo dieter, and it's very dispiriting because you end up with a worse problem than what you started with, actually. And that's the situation I was in a good year and a half ago, when I thought, right, either I waste my 50s like I wasted my 40s trying to battle this problem and possibly losing, or I take some proactive action and I do something now. And I'd heard a little bit about the gastric band, and I decided to go on the internet and surf around and find the right place to go to. And I ended up going to Belgium because I believed in their ads that it was cheaper, no MRSA in Belgium, they spoke English. I later found out a lot of those claims weren't quite, well, it just didn't live up to the adverts. I came back with a gastric band which had been placed in the wrong position. It had been put in the wrong place inside the body, really. Instead of being put around my stomach, it had been put around the bottom of the esophagus, and that's why it didn't work. I struggled for a couple of months trying to find a way to make it to work. It didn't, so I gave up on it. I thought I'd bought into a rather useless little bit of gadgetry, and I was at the point of thinking, gosh, I am going to be a fat old lady forever. When Celebrity Fit Club came along and they said, would you like to join in? We're all about health and fitness and teamwork. And so I went on it, and I didn't tell them about the gastric band because, frankly, by then it was irrelevant. It wasn't working. I knew they wouldn't understand. And actually, it just, it wasn't... if it hadn't been inside me, it really wouldn't have been part of the picture anymore. Unfortunately, somebody in Belgium decided to ring the Sunday newspapers and tell them they'd seen me in Belgium having this operation, and it all blew up. The only good thing to come out of all of that furore was a phone call out of the blue from this lady called Donna Ross, who'd lost 7 stone herself on a gastric band. She represents a company called the Hospital Group in this country, which do these operations for people in England. And she said, look, we can't understand why it's not working for you. Do you want to come along and meet our experts and try and figure out why it's not working for you? So I did. I had an X-ray, and that's when we discovered it had been put in the wrong place. So I had to go through the operation all over again. But now it does work. And I've lost about 4 stone, 5 dress sizes. And a lot of people are now beginning to write to me and say, who was this fantastic surgeon in Belgium that cured the problem? And I've got to now tell the truth. I've got to actually say, no, it wasn't that. You need to know the real facts. And that's why I'm doing the tour.
In your situation, obviously, it wasn't working, it wasn't doing what you wanted it to do and helping you lose weight. But you were actually lucky in some respects, because it can actually be very dangerous to your life, can't it? If you do have an operation that isn't done correctly and can go very wrong.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I don't really know what would have happened in the end if I'd struggled and struggled and struggled any longer with something that had been put in the wrong place. I'm very glad I was rescued. You see, it got me thinking, well, how many other people out there have been to Belgium or any other country and had an operation done on them and it hasn't worked, and they've done the same as me, blamed yourself, oh, here I am, yet a failure at yet another thing, and just gone quiet. And there might be a lot of, in fact, well, I've had quite a few already have got in touch and said, I've been through exactly the same thing and I've been wondering why on earth mine didn't work. What should I do now? And my advice is you go and see a reputable surgeon here in this country and get an X-ray done and get their advice, because you need help. It should be working.
So how does a gastric band work? What's your everyday kind of experience of it?
I mean, the way it works, it's quite a clever, ingenious, but really simple device, as all the best ones are, I suppose. If you imagine your stomach is like a big balloon, a gastric band is a little ring that is put around the balloon to effectively make it an hourglass shape. It gives you a little stomach at the top and the bigger stomach at the bottom. It doesn't cut anything away. It's just a band put round there. But, of course, because you've got this little stomach at the top, that's the stomach you deal with. So when you eat and you've eaten enough, that little stomach is full. So, you're full, effectively, but you're full on far less food. It's a portion controller, if you like. And that's how it works. You eat a totally normal diet. You're just as satisfied, but you're satisfied with a tiny amount of food, whereas in the olden days you would have had to eat an enormous plateful. And, of course, day after day, because it never stops doing it, it's utterly reliable, day after day you end up losing weight.
And I mean, just how small are the portions? I obviously everyone has their preconceptions of it, and I imagine absolute tiny, kind of a spoonful.
No. I think most people will find that they're probably eating a third of what they would normally eat. So, if, for instance, you order a pizza and you would normally have always got through the whole pizza, you'd probably eat a third of it, and by the end of the third, you will feel stuffed. And you're quite happy to watch the waiter take the other 2/3 away. That, to me, is freedom from the food trap. It's brilliant.
And, I mean, it's not an overnight thing, though, is it? I mean, how long does it take?
Well, you say it's not overnight, but, no, of course you don't lose. I know people now who've lost 10 and 11 stone on this thing, but I've lost about 4. And you don't lose 4 stone overnight, but you do start losing almost overnight. Straight away after the operation, you have to just eat baby food, like you have just liquids for the first 2 weeks. And the second 2 weeks, you're allowed to eat sort of mushy food. That's just to give your stomach an easy ride to get used to having this thing around it. After that, you're meant to go back to totally normal eating. But, of course, you lose weight almost from day one because you are eating less. And that's all it's about. It's just eating less. As you eat less, you do start to notice that, you start to look at what's going inside you and you think, if I'm going to eat that much less, then I really ought to make sure I eat healthy. And so you make a conscious decision, and I've spoken to other people who've been through it. You do sort of start to worry that if you're eating that much less, then it really ought not to be rubbish. And you do. So in a way, it has a good educational influence on you. It does make you think about what's going in.
Because, I mean, are people that's going to say it's not about that? It's about exercise and it's about healthy eating.
No, even my trainer, I do exercise, about twice a week. But even my trainer says, look, losing weight is about 70% diet, 30% exercise. You can't do it just on exercise, unless you're the sort of person who wants to live in the gym. And I don't want a lifestyle like that. But I do exercise. It would be wrong not to, in a way, because if you're going to lose a lot of weight, you do need to do everything you can to make sure that you don't go all flabby and get lots of loose skin. You should lose weight slowly and surely, and you should do a bit of exercise so that your body can readjust.
Finally, I just want to ask you, I mean, where's the future? I mean, are you going to have this on for the rest of your life, or do you have to have it then put on again?
They are removable, but they are designed to stay in for life, and I would be very upset if you took mine out. Very worried, because inevitably I'm genetically predisposed to put on weight, I think, and obviously old habits in the end might creep back, and I really wouldn't want that to happen. So at the moment, no, it's designed to stay in for life, and I'm quite happy. It's like a little friend inside me.
No regrets then, in the end.
Not in the end, but I just want people to learn from the regrets I had at the beginning.
Lovely. Well, I'm pleased it all worked out in the end. Thanks ever so much for joining me
today.
Thank you. Thanks then. Bye-bye.
Bye.